Bonjour les étudiants and welcome to another French lesson. In today's French lesson, we are going to learn about les pronoms sujets. That means the subject pronouns. So in this French lesson, we are going to learn what are subject pronouns in French and why do we use subject pronouns. Okay, so now let's understand what is the subject. What do we mean by the subject? So a subject is a doer of an action. A subject is a doer of an action. For example, look at this sentence. Ankit is playing football. Ankit is playing football. So here Ankit is a doer of an action. Okay, Ankit is a doer who is doing any action. So here Ankit is the subject. Here Ankit is the subject who is doing some kind of action. Now what are pronouns and why do we use pronouns? So a pronoun is a word which is used instead of a noun. A pronoun is a word which is used instead of a noun. Now why do we use it exactly? For example, someone is describing my day to you. Like Ankit gets up at this time. Ankit goes to office at this time. Ankit comes back at this time. Ankit eats this. Ankit plays football in the evening. So does it sound good? Because that person is, repeating my name again and again to you, right? So that's why we use pronouns so that we can replace that noun. For example, Ankit is playing football. Okay. Now I can replace this noun with what? With a pronoun which is he. So now like he is playing football. So here what we have done, this noun Ankit is replaced by this pronoun which is he. Okay, he is playing football. So generally the subject pronouns in English are I, you, he, she, we, they. These are subject pronouns in English. Now let's learn what are subject pronouns in French. Now these are the subject pronouns in French. The subject pronouns in French are divided in two categories, singular and plural. So now let's learn the singular subject pronouns first. Okay, so let's start with je. It's je, which means I. Tu, you. Il, which means he and it both. Elle means she and it both. Okay, now répétez, repeat once again. Je, tu, il, elle. Now let's learn the subject pronouns in plural. Nous means we. Then vous means also you, which we use for plural. Tu we use for singular and vous we use for plural. Then il means they. We use il for masculine plural nouns. For example, there are two boys and if I want to address them as they, then I would use il, okay, they. Next is elle, which means also the same they, but we use elle for feminine plural nouns. For example, there are two girls, okay, and I want to address them as they, then I would use elle. But what if there are, suppose, boys also and there are girls also, and now I want to address them as they, then I would use this il. For example, Ankit and Riya are there. So one is masculine, one is feminine, and I want to address them as they. Okay, then which one I use? I would use this il, which means we use L only for females. Okay, we use L only for feminine plural. Now let's pronounce them once again. Nous, vous, il, elle. Now you must be thinking that the pronunciation of this il and this il is same, and the pronunciation of this L and this L is also same. Yes, you are absolutely correct. The pronunciation of this il and this il is same, and the pronunciation of this L and this L also is same. Now let's pronounce them once again. Je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle.